In this video, I'll explain why you fail at fat loss because of horrible consistency. And by the end of this video, you will know how to make a change so that you can improve your consistency to see sustainable long-term results and progress. Yes, that behind me on my kitchen counter is a homemade highway or motorway. If you guessed that, well done. This highway has a slow lane, a medium lane, and a fast lane. And it has this thing, which is you in your car of consistency. Now this highway is no normal highway. This, my friends, is the highway of fat loss, your fat loss. And remember, this is you in your car of consistency. Now you in your car of consistency want to embark on your journey on your fat loss highway. Your starting point could be Cape Town and your finishing point could be Johannesburg, if it were a normal highway or motorway. But because it's the fat loss highway, your starting point is where you're currently at with your weight, and your end point is where you want to be with your weight. Now what usually happens here is most people, probably you included, ignore the fact that there are two other lanes to your fat loss highway and you go straight for the fast lane. And in this fast lane, that's where you want to stay. You want to stay there from your starting point up until your finishing point, your end point. So you try and tackle absolutely everything at once. You overwhelm yourself, you exhaust yourself, because you just can't keep that speed or that intensity up for the entire duration. Little do you know that there are options. If you feel like you are slowing down in the fast lane, you can always put your indicator on, unless you're a BMW driver, because we all know they don't have indicators. And you can change over into the medium lane, or you can even change over into the slow lane. You don't have to be pushing at 120 kilometers per hour every single day. Depending on what life throws at you, what different phase or stage you're going through at any stage of your health and fat loss expedition, you can lower the gears. You can shift it down a notch. Now, whilst I've got you in your car of consistency here, let's imagine this scenario for 1 second. You're driving along this highway trying to get to your end destination. And because you've been going in the fast lane the entire time, you've been consuming a lot more fuel. Now you've exhausted your fuel before your planned fuel stop. Now your car cuts out on the highway because there's no more fuel left. There's no more Vuma left. What do? Do you leave your car on the highway and just call it a day and walk away and never go back to your car again? Or do you make a plan to get the car off the highway into a safe spot where you can then refuel the car and continue your expedition from Cape Town to Joburg? I do believe that most of you will probably look for an option to refuel your car. You're not just going to leave it next to the highway. So why, when you run out of fuel in your make-believe car on your make-believe highway, do you just call it quits? When you hit a speed bump, when you run out of fuel, when you take the wrong turn, do you just leave the car there? Do you just turn around and walk away from the situation and only go back in like 8 weeks or 9 weeks, or maybe never go back again? I think not. You sort that situation out within the same day. And then you proceed as per normal. And that's exactly what you have to do on your health and fat loss expedition. If you run out of fuel, find a way to get more Vuma, to get more fuel. Maybe go into a slower lane, maybe pull over into a rest spot and take a chill pill for a bit. Maybe stop trying to tackle everything at once and stop trying to get to your end goal as quick as possible. Maybe learn to enjoy the journey. The reason why your car of consistency is kaput and losing some of its steam and airbags and some of its tires en route is because, number one, you're in the fast lane all the time because that's where you think you have to be. That's not the case. There's other lanes depending on your day, your week, or your month, or whatever phase it is that you're going through. You can go to a slower lane. You can tackle less to create more consistency. Every time your little car sees a speed bump in the road, do you stop at the speed bump, or do you navigate your way over the speed bump? I thought so. You navigate your way over the speed bump. And I want you to do the same on your health and fat loss expedition, your health and fat loss highway, your health and fat loss road. Navigate those little speed bumps. Don't give up at those speed bumps. And if you get one flat tire, you don't take the other 3 off as well and throw them all away. You fix that one flat tire. And then, vroom, 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 you proceed as per normal. So why, if you have one day on your health and fat loss expedition, do you think it's a train smash and you throw away the entire week? If that happens, you pull over to the middle lane, to the slow lane, to the emergency lane. You stop for a little bit, you reassess the situation, you change that one tire and you get back into it. And so you'll proceed with your journey to Joburg and also your end fat loss goal. It's not always about getting to the end destination, the fastest pace, the quickest way possible. It's about enjoying the ride. It's about the person you become in the process. It's the person you become on this expedition. And a lot of the times you won't be able to see that and acknowledge that if you're constantly living in the fast lane. Sometimes, just sometimes, you have to go slower to build up that power of momentum. Oh, and have you ever seen that person that's sitting behind you in their car and they're getting agitated, they're getting frustrated and they overtake you in the wrong lane, only for you to meet up with them at the red robot? For those of you that are not in South Africa, we call the traffic lights robots here. So whilst you were going slower and the car behind you was getting frustrated, you still ended up at the same destination, the traffic light robot, whatever you want to call it, at the same time. Consistency beats perfection all the time. If you're trying to tackle absolutely everything and you are in that fast lane all the time and it's overwhelming you and it's exhausting you, remember, there are other options. There's the medium lane, there's the slow lane. There's the emergency lane for you to pull off and reassess things. But remember, that emergency lane, you can't park there forever. It's got a little way out of it back into the slow lane. And that's where you start building your momentum and that consistency. That probably made no sense. So let me recap quickly. You don't have to tackle absolutely everything at once. Avoid that overwhelm. Break it up into small, manageable, bite-sized sections for yourself. There's no right or wrong pace of navigating your health and fat loss expedition. The only way that's going to work is for you to create a pace that works for you, something that you can stick to consistently. Also, don't throw the entire day, week, or month away because of one little speed bump, because you ran out of fuel, or because you got a flat tire. Work on getting over those speed bumps. Work on taking a little bit of a break and resting if you are tired, if you're out of fuel, if you're out of Vuma, but don't give up. Refuel where necessary and continue moving forward. And if your car consistently runs out of gas, fuel, petrol, diesel, whatever it takes, maybe, just maybe, it is because you are going way too fast right from the word go. Learn to slow it down a little bit, to save that fuel, to save that Vuma, so that you can get to that end goal, that end destination, no matter how long it takes. And remember, don't always be in such a rush to get to your goal weight. The person that you are becoming from when you start till you get to the end, that section in the middle, there's just something so beautiful, something so magical about that, and you can't experience that if you're constantly racing to get to the end goal. It's not about that goal weight, it's about who you become in the process. It's about how you learn to navigate struggles. It's about the confidence that you build whilst you are navigating those struggles. It's about learning to love your life and yourself now and not waiting until you get to an end goal or an end destination to do that. And I know this sounds so cliche, but there's magic in the journey. There's something beautiful in that journey waiting for you, but you can't experience it if you're constantly running at 150 kilometers per hour. If you're constantly pushing at a fast pace all the time just to get to the end goal. YouTube thinks you'll like this video. I think so too. Go ahead, click on it, watch it, and enjoy it. And most importantly, just learn from it.